Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all of you. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Where is this one? Carly. He was about to present na today. Life cycle of malaria. Someone call him. This one. Costa,
Yes, ma'am.
you call Carly.
Yes, ma'am.
Ask him whether he is joining or not. I won't wait for long. I have network issues also. So in the last class, we were discussing on malaria. So from the very introductory point from malaria, please read out. Aliza, read out the clinical features of malaria. Aliza,
Yes, sir.
read out the clinical features of malaria.
The main activity.
Hmm?
The main activities of program were, ma'am, which one?
Clinical features, clinical features. Cold stage, hot stage, sweating stage.
Ma'am, I think I was absent.
Then you didn't take the notes up till now.
Oh,
Read
yes,
it
ma'am,
out.
I have done. Yes, ma'am, I have done.
Okay, you read.
Autoimmune attack comprises of three distinct stages: one cold stage, hot stage, and sweating stage. Cold stage. The onset is a lassitude, headache, nausea, and chilly sensation. Chilly sensation followed in risers. The temperature rises rapidly to 39 to 41 degrees Celsius. Headache is often severe, and commonly there is vomiting. In early part of stage, skin feels cold. Later it became hot. The pulse is rapid and may become weak. Stage lasts for 1 by 4 to 1 hours. Hot stage is burning hot and cast off his clothes. The skin is hot, dry to touch. Headache is intense, but not commonly diminishes. The pulse is full and respiration rapid. The stage lasts for 2 to 6 hours. Sweating is fever comes down with profuse sweating. The temperature drops rapidly and skin is cool and moist. Pulse rate becomes lower. Patient with relief and often falls asleep. This stage lasts for 2 to 4 hours. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Next. Virgashri,
Yes, ma'am.
you read out the
Hello, ma'am.
milestone. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you read out the milestone of malaria control activities in India.
Okay, ma'am.
Milestone.
Yeah, one number. Period to 1953. Milestone. Estimated malaria case in India 75 million. Deaths due to malaria 0.8 million. 1953. Usings of National Malaria Control Program. 1958. National Malaria Control Program was
sent to National Malaria Eradication Program. 1965, cases were reduced to 0.1 million. Early 1970, resurgence of malaria. 1976, malaria cases 6.46 million. 1977, World Bank associated enhanced malaria control projects launched. 1999, renaming programs to National Anti-Malaria Program. 2002, renaming of National Anti-Malaria Program to National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. 2005, Global Fund assisted identify malaria control projects launched. 2005, introduction of RDT in the programs. 2006, egg was introduced in areas showing chloroquine resistance in Pelciverums malaria. 2008, egg extended to predominant districts covering about 95% of Plasmodium falciparum cases. 2008, World Bank supported National Malaria Control Project launch. 2009, introduction of LLINS, long-lasting insecticidal nets. 2010, new drugs policy. 2010. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Ostaf? Who is there? Shilunok, were you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read out the activities, main activities of the program. You read out that one. And along with that, you also read the sign and symptoms.
Okay, ma'am. The main activities of the programs were formulating, number one, formulating policies and guidelines. Number two, technical guidance. Number three, planning. Number four, logistics. Number five, monitoring and evaluation. Point six, coordination of activities through the state or union territory and consultation with national organizations such as National Center for Disease Control, the short form in NCDC, and National Institute of Malaria Research, NIMR. Number seven, collaboration with international organizations like the WHO, World Bank, and other donor agencies. Point eight, training. Signs and symptoms of malaria. Point one, nausea. Point two, fever. Point three, headache. Point four, muscle ache. Point five, tiredness. Point six, vomiting. Point seven, chills, that is cold. Point eight, diarrhea. Point nine, malaria also causes jaundice and anemia because of the loss of uh, red blood cell, that is RBC. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So now we will start with the life cycle of malaria. Okay. Carly, if you are ready, you can start up now. We already wasted so much of time.
Okay. Ma'am, I'll try to join with my laptop now.
Then with what you have joined now?
With phone, ma'am.
Okay, okay. You try to join with laptop. Do fast, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, screen sharing is.
You want to share screen?
Yes, ma'am. Can you see, ma'am?
Yes. Yes, yes, it's visible.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and everyone. I'm
Your
going
voice
to
is
give a
a bit low, Carly.
uh, now, ma'am.
Now it's okay.
Uh, I'm going to give a presentation on life cycle of malaria. So, as you can see in this diagram, the life cycle of malaria starts here when the mosquito bites a human. The mosquito injects this uh, plasmodium into the bloodstream, and then they multiply, and after that they destroy red blood cells, and there's another cycle where they produce more of themselves. After that, there is formation of male and female gametes, and then when the mosquito sucks the blood, it takes these gametes, and there is fertilization, and the whole cycle starts again. So the life cycle is almost the same for all the 5 species that infect humans and follow 3 stages. The first is infection of a human with sporozoites. Second is asexual reproduction, then sexual reproduction. The first 2 stages takes place exclusively into the human body, while the third one starts in the human body and is completed into the mosquito. First stage. Here, the human infection begins when an infected female Anopheles mosquito bites a person and injects saliva infected with sporozoites into the blood circulation. That is the first stage of Plasmodium. We also call it stage of infection. In the second stage, malaria cycle, the next stage in malaria life cycle is the one of asexual reproduction that is divided into 2 phases: the pre-erythrocytic or exoerythrocytic and the erythrocytic phase. Uh, in the second phase, within only 30 to 60 minutes after the parasite's inoculation, sporozoites find their way through blood circulation to their first target, that is the liver. The sporozoites enter the liver cells and start dividing, leading to cyzones creation in 6 to 7 days. Each cyzone gives birth to thousands of merozoites that are then released into the bloodstream, marking the end of the exoerythrocytic phase of the asexual reproductive stage. That was the first phase of the second stage. Now, it is worth mentioning that concerning Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale, sporozoites may not follow the reproduction step and stay dormant, that is hypnozoites, in the liver. They may be activated after a long time, leading to relapses entering the bloodstream as merozoites after weeks, months, or even years. The exoerythrocytic phase is not pathogenic and does not produce symptoms or signs of the disease. Its duration is not the same for all parasite species. Now, continuation of second stage, merozoites released into the bloodstream are directed towards their second target, that is the red blood cells. As they invade into the cells, they mark the beginning of the erythrocytic phase. This is the second phase of the second stage. The first stage after invasion is a ring stage that evolves into a tropozoid. The tropozoites are not able to digest the hem, so they convert it in hemozoin and digest the globin that is used as a source of amino acids for their reproduction. Now, the next cellular stage is the erythrocytic cyzone. Now these are initially immature and then mature cyzone. Each mature cyzone gives birth to a new generation merozoites that, after RBCs rupture, are released in the bloodstream in order to invade other RBCs. This is when parasitemia occurs and the clinical manifestations appear. The liver phase occurs only once, while the erythrocytic phase undergoes multiple cycles. The merozoites released after each cycle create the febrile waves. A third stage. A second scenario in the RBCs is the parasite differentiation into male and female gametocytes. That is a non-pathogenic form of parasite. When a female anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, it takes up these gametocytes with the blood meal. And point to be noted is that mosquito can be infected only if they have a meal during the period that gametocytes circulate in the human's blood. The gametocytes then mature and become microgametes, that is male, and macrogametes, those are female, during a process known as gametogenesis. The time needed for the gametocytes to mature differs for each Plasmodium species. In the mosquito gut, now the Plasmodium is outside of the human body, and in the mosquito gut, the microgamete nucleus fertilizes a macrogamete, forming a zygote. The zygote, after the fusion of nuclei and the fertilization, becomes the so-called ookinete. The ookinete then penetrates the midgut wall of the mosquito, where it insists into a formation called oocyst. Inside the oocyst, the ookinete nucleus divides to produce thousands of sporozoites. Uh, that is the end of the third stage, or the stage of sexual reproduction. The oocyst ruptures and the sporozoites are released inside the mosquito cavity and find their way to its salivary glands, but only few hundreds of sporozoites manage to enter the human body. Thus, when the above mentioned infected mosquito takes a blood meal, it injects its infected saliva into the next victim, marking the beginning of a new cycle. Thank you.
Out.
Well,
Participants, if you have any doubt, you can ask Carly. Any doubt? Any point?
कुछ पूछना है पूछो.
Okay, but someone please collect the attendance, okay? Any one of you, please collect the attendance without forgetting. Otherwise, I won't be able to give your attendance, mark your attendance. Kostov, you can collect the attendance.
Yes, ma'am.
And Carly, have you prepared the notes? Do you have the PDF?
I will just convert this PPT into PDF, ma'am.
Okay, okay. After converting the PDF, you can send it in group. And everyone should have this notes, okay? Whatever you have prepared, I want you to keep this note and I want you to write it, note it down in your copy, in your exercise copies. Okay, because life cycle of malaria, you should be able to even draw the cycle that is shown in this screen. So whatever is there, write down everything and it will be important for your exam purpose also. Life cycle of malaria. Try to read, okay, whatever is there in your room, try to read, all of you. After reading, if there is anything that you did not understand, then you can ask in the next class. But without reading, you will not be able to know. And I think all this life cycle of malaria and all, I think before also you have got somewhere, maybe in school days or somewhere. Carly, did you ever get?
Malaria, ma'am.
Carly? Huh?
Ma'am, malaria.
Life cycle of malaria and all that?
I forgot, but
Uh-huh.
uh, yes,
I
ma'am.
think we have got all this in school days and all, na? Class 9, 10, class 10, most probably 9, 10, like that. Okay. Whatever it is, all of you
Yes,
please
ma'am.
try to read. Okay.
Whatever it is,
Okay.
all of
And
you
good
please try to
presentation,
read.
Carly. But next time,
It is
just
all of you
try
please
to
try.
next time, if possible, you just try to elaborate
Next
more.
time,
Okay.
if
Instead of only
possible,
reading,
just
you
try
should
to
try to explain also. Because when you present something, it is very much important for everyone to understand the explanation. Okay, Carly. But as a whole, it was good, and even your slides. And I was just reading the lines; everything was good. So that's why I want all of you to have the note, and I want you to note it down in your exercise copies. After you all come to university, I will surely check your exercise copies. So be fully prepared. And whoever did not write or any of the note that has been given from day one, I'll be giving you punishment. Okay, the same note you have to write 100 times and you have to submit it to me. So if you do not want that, complete all the notes before coming. And as for today, I'll just end the class here. Okay, because I think you have class at 1 also, and I used to have lots of network problem here in university. So tomorrow I want to start with a new topic that will be tuberculosis. Okay, from tomorrow I'll take it properly, tuberculosis. And malaria topic is over. Okay, that is all about your malaria topic. So thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.